sound. Okay. Can you find your cable and I'll hook you up? Not that one.
Hello and welcome to Wednesday Night Standard here in beautiful Mason, Ohio. Currently having a little bit of a audio issue with my partner Kyle Kepi. I'm Jason Morgan. We are back for Wednesday night commentary after a little break for last week. And boy, oh boy, do we have big news.
Big news
Big
here.
news, yeah. So we figured we'd just go ahead and address the elephant in the room and put Marvel right on camera round one and just get it over with.
So if you haven't heard, Marvel, as of, was it yesterday, was banned?
Yeah, the card Aetherworks Marvel.
Yeah, and so Isaiah's investment's going down the drain.
Also known as Aetherworks Slot Machine.
Slot Machine.
Slot Machine, yeah. You put in the energy coins and hope that an Ulamog comes out.
You know, so we're just gonna put it on camera, get it over with, and be done with it.
Indeed.
For hopefully ever.
Yes. I'm actually very, very optimistic about the future of Standard after this banning.
I think I'm entirely done with Wizards printing. Look at the top 6 of your library
Of
and
anything.
just grab something.
Yeah.
I'm done with that.
So
Collective company.
My question, has been, okay, if we can have cards like Aetherworks Marvel and Collected Company, where's my fact or fiction reprint? I just want cards. I want to run some bluffs.
Yeah. Fact or fiction doesn't let you cast the spells for free. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All you get is cards.
All you get is cards.
Yeah, you're not getting a mana reduction. You're not essentially giving the creature or creatures that you're casting flash.
Yeah.
Collected Company is one of the biggest bargains in Magic the Gathering.
It's a deal, if not a steal. And so I think a few weeks ago we had Mario on camera, and he's operating with some blue-green spirits. He's got a Mausoleum Wanderer on turn 1. And that's when you want a Mausoleum Wanderer, because I don't know if you know this, but he gets pumped with every spirit that you play.
I wouldn't know that.
I know. That's what I was acting like I was informing the audience, technically actually informing you.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing. I need as much education about these standard cards as possible.
And so that is in Ulvenwald Mysteries, I think?
Yeah, he's doing some investigation.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out a way to get a little bit of card advantage going in this deck, because otherwise it's just creatures.
Yeah, just dirtily creatures.
Yeah,
and so, did Isaiah just attune for a plains?
I was so fascinated with the Mausoleum Wanderer and the Ulvenwald investigation or ongoing investigations or whatever it is that I didn't even see what it got.
Yeah.
It was probably a basic land.
It's probably a basic land. They're full arts. It looks pretty yellow, but I'm willing to be wrong.
Yeah, so seeing in chat, Isaiah did attune for a plains. So this is maybe the 4-color version of this deck that has seen a little bit of play, but certainly not the headliner.
All right, this is news to me. I knew that there was a banned list, and and even a Jeskai, but I didn't know. I don't know what the white's even for, honestly. For Approach the Second Sun.
Going deep, because Ulamog's not enough.
Ulamog doesn't win you the game. It just ends the game.
Right. Okay, kind of the same thing.
Approach the Second Sun does say win the game, I believe.
I mean, the second time you cast it. It's not Approach of the First Sun. All right, so Mario demonstrating the downside to the smoke back perfect fits here.
I've always heard good things about these smoke backs. They're essentially darker sleeves so that your flip card isn't visible through the back of your sleeve, which is kind of a common problem in larger tournaments.
Sure.
But alas, you just kind of, it's harder to see them once you do flip them.
So Isaiah getting in with that Thopter token.
Getting in with that Thopter.
Yeah, letting Mario know what's going on.
And so Mario's spirits having flash give him a kind of an advantage in terms of flipping his werewolves. He doesn't have to cast spells during his turn, gets him to flip, and just starts bashing in on Isaiah.
Yeah, and Rattle Chains is kind in that it imparts flash to the other spirits that you might have in your hand.
Look at you knowing what the cards do.
So I played it in draft once. See, I have a rather elegant solution both for flip cards and not having to use the Smokeback Perfect Fits in Modern.
Black sleeves?
Not playing flip cards in Modern because they all suck. Delver of Secrets, bad card.
Okay, wow. If you don't know this, Jason has flipped some Delvers in his day. And
that was before we all figured out how stupid, busted Death Shadow is. I mean, it's a perfectly fair card. But this isn't Modern. We shouldn't get into that. I will say that I think it's fine when the best deck in the format is a creature-based, interactive, quote-unquote, fair deck. As long as we're not talking about, you know, some stupid combo deck that's very difficult to interact with, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, we could do a lot worse than to have Death Shadow as the best current deck in Modern. So anyway.
Ban Marvel, but don't you dare touch Jason's Death Shadows.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not biased at all.
Okay. So Isaiah's building his board a little bit, fending off... well, Mario's not really putting up much of an offense, but...
He's getting in with the mystery card.
I think it's just a 4/4 werewolf is all it is.
I'm guessing that the ongoing investigation is actually trying to figure out what that card is. And at this point, I have no clue.
It adds a bit of like flavor to it, you know. Werewolves like haunting at night, like lurking, hunting at night.
They do only come out at night.
Yes. So.
Yeah. Thematically, makes sense.
And Isaiah is doing the Plan B for the Marvel deck, in which you just jam value creatures on them.
Sure, and surprisingly has the Tireless Tracker main. Normally, you're seeing that out of the sideboard of the current and soon-to-be-dead Marvel lists.
Thank the Lord.
Yes, I completely agree. I think this was a fantastic decision by Wizards of the Coast. The justification that they provided in the ban article was very sound. It's an overall good thing for the game, and I don't know if you guys out there in internet land remember, but a couple weeks back, Kyle and I were talking about the fact that I would indeed be making a foray into Standard that following weekend after the last broadcast that we commentated, and I did do that, and I did play the Marvel deck. And I can tell you that the games that I got to play up until the point where Marvel became the thing that mattered in the game were actually very, very interesting, very fun, very interactive. There was a lot of maneuvering, good magic. But then Marvel would come online, and how well I played or how poorly I played to that point in the game no longer mattered. The only thing that mattered at that point were the top 6 cards in my deck, and that was very, very disappointing.
And you can see that here with Isaiah's deck. He's using energy for Harness Lightnings, which just kind of got blown out by a... Defiance. The green card.
Blossoming Defense.
Blossoming Defense, there we go. So Isaiah's deck is just playing like a solid value, like creature deck. He's using his energy, making choices about how he uses energy in terms of making Thopters, using Harness Lightning. But the game will definitely change once he draws the Marvel, because all he'll be doing is trying to activate the Marvel.
Yes, the game becomes entirely about Marvel activations at that point.
It's just, it's very machine-like. It's very much just kind of repetitive, kind of just one speed. You just do whatever it takes to generate energy and to
activate your Marvel.
Yeah.
Yep. So Mario getting beefy on his side of the battlefield there with a Virtuous Gearhawk.
Virtuous Gearhawk made some splashes in Standard, but it's kind of fallen to the wayside.
I don't think that's going to be the case much longer.
Yeah, the Gearhawks. I think all the Gearhawks are going to come back, besides the red one. The red one.
Yeah,
the red white one are just garbage.
Right, garbage.
Not garbage, but they're not great.
They belong in the scrap heap to get scrounged.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, I definitely think that the Snake is going to be a big player post banning here.
Yeah, green black Snake will be pretty good. That being said, I don't love its zombies matchup. I think zombies just kind of can go wide on it.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Diagraph Colossus, if they don't have the answer for it, just runs wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be something to figure out with the new Standard.
Well, yeah, so the thing is, right, now with Marvel out of the picture.
Totally, yeah.
That at the very least frees up sideboard slots for the rest of the of the decks in the format. There's another level beyond that where it changes some main deck decisions as well in terms of what interactive spells you're playing. And now that the format has been constricted. You're welcome.
Oh man.
You're gonna find room in decks now for more answers to cards that cards and matchups really.
Definitely.
That those decks find particularly problematic.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if green black is running Flaying Tendrils or something like that, just for, or I guess Henny's Expertise even maybe, as sweepers against zombies, which they just probably couldn't find the room for.
Sure.
Previously, because you had to run Transgresses as a 4 of, the Dispossess, the Artifact, maybe not even Artifact Removal, but like Lost Legacy kind of stuff. All these like random cards to interact at a different level because Marvel was operating at such a different level than the rest of the decks in the meta.
Yeah, indeed. And I tell you, bringing up Expertise, Green-Black Constrictor may very well be the deck that is best positioned to take advantage of that card, as it can both grow its creatures out of range and follow up with possibly the most powerful 3-drops in the format with either Tireless Tracker or Liliana the Last Hope.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always interested about Liliana Last Hope's like place in Standard, so it'll be interesting to see moving forward.
So Mario getting in here, that Gearhawk tramples, so those Thopters are not going to do much to stop it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Chumps and takes what, 8,000?
7.
Oh, 7.
7.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Only a few thousand short. But that's the thing is that Isaiah's been activating Puzzle Knots, and so he has a life kind of cushioned, and so we will see if Isaiah can turn the corner on.
I'm still having a little bit of audio issues there, folks. Sorry about that.
Okay,
I think we're back.
I think we're back. Yep.
Yep.
And Isaiah has a solid board. He has a Tireless Tracker that's just been growing and might even be close enough to start tangling with this Gearhulk in a few turns.
Sure.
But he's got to start pushing in some damage, and all the flash creatures that Mario has can kind of...
Right, and Mario with a good number of cards in hand here, so
definitely,
any risky attacks that Isaiah might choose to make, could be punished, both with favorable blocks and a big fat swing back.
Yeah, and so Chandra kind of solves that dilemma in terms of the fact that her attacks are pretty easy to make.
Yeah.
Those 3 ones are going to the trash bin regardless, so get in with them.
Depending on what Mario has in hand here, it looks like Isaiah is going to be swinging for lethal. But again, you know, this is an interesting decision point in the game. Isaiah not knowing what's in Mario's hand, Mario having access to flash creatures.
Okay.
Doing that thing.
So the Nebelgast Herald taps down the Tireless Tracker when it comes into play.
So Mario can stem the aggression, as well as, like I said, have a real nice swing back.
Yeah, and so
Isaiah senses that, leaves his Virtuosos back on defense.
But still swinging in for a 9.
Yeah.
And
a notable thing about the Nebelgast Herald is that, like Rattle Chains, it shares its ability with other spirits.
Okay, yeah, so they kind of compound.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the design space that the blue spirits kind of fit in the Innistrad sets, and so it's kind of cool to see them actually getting played some.
Yeah, you know, I think that they were one more, you know, tournament playable card away from being a big factor. I
think they definitely were a factor for a while, but not maybe necessarily as a spirit deck, but just as like the blue-white decks and stuff like that. I remember Jeff Hooglin playing...
Well, Jeff Hooglin plays whatever he wants. You know.
My mistake, you're correct.
I mean, referencing him as any kind of benchmark of a format is...
they saw play. That was the comment. They saw play. And so Mario has to attack this Chandra just to get her out of the way. And beyond that, I don't know necessarily how he stays in the game. Well, as you were saying, the Nebelgast Herald gives the other spirits the ability to tap creatures down, so the Tireless Tracker could possibly be tapped down for quite a few more turns.
Indeed, and he's got 3 clues lined up to draw some more cards to try to find some ways to
dig back
stem this aggression. Tell Isaiah this aggression will not stand.
Oh, man. You can tell him that, but...
Yeah, well, there's a giant Eldrazi lurking in Isaiah's hand.
I mean, it's... Lurking is the word. I would say stuck.
Well, so let's see. He's got 6,
he's at 9
7,
lands.
9. Yeah, so it's only a matter of time.
Yeah. And he just cracked his clue. I was more excited about this Approach the Second Sun that he has. Oh.
And
look at this Nahiri.
Yeah.
Look at Isaiah playing the cutest cards.
Yeah, let's just get rid of that Gearhawk. Just get it on out of here. Yep.
Yep. Okay. So Mario's kind of biggest threat that it's kind of what his game plan was hinging on is the fact that he had a 7/7 just to push with is now gone. Exiled by Nahiri, and Isaiah's going to start pushing on him.
And hasn't drawn a Marvel the entire game. Hasn't mattered. So that's the thing is that after the Marvel banning, the format is going to be great. You know, because I mean, look what you can still do.
Yeah.
Right?
No. And this was stated in the Wizards article in the most awkward way I think possible. The Temur deck is still probably fine. Temur Energy is probably going to be fine regardless.
Oh, it's definitely going to be fine.
Yeah. It was seeing some competitive level play before the banning. It will after the banning.
All right, so here he goes down there to the Nebelgast Herald. Mario's going to need something in hand to deal with those Thopters. Otherwise, they're just they're coming in to end the game next turn.
Yeah, especially because the Nebelgast had to attack the Nahiri, which maybe it didn't have to. Nahiri's pretty good though.
Well, I mean, Isaiah's at 17. It's not like 2 damage is going to kill him. So yeah.
Well, I mean, in terms of leaving the Herald back to block.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well. There's the Marvel.
You don't even have to worry about it. He doesn't have enough energy for it.
Or the 10th land. Yeah, there's the 10th land. And
Just show it to him, Isaiah. Don't even tap the mana.
Yeah, I've got this 10/10. Isaiah doesn't even need it. He wants to try to get lucky.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, what guy doesn't? In Magic, man. In Magic.
So, Isaiah's playing around any kind of shenanigans that Mario might have.
Censor.
Censor?
Namely, Censor. And we do know from the last time Mario was on camera that he had it in his deck then.
I just meant in terms of attacking with 3 1/1s. But yeah, by all means, yeah.
By not playing the Ulamog.
Yeah, sure.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you still get that cash trigger, but, you know.
Yeah.
Paying 10 mana to exile 2 permanents is not exactly a deal.
Yeah, I want Isaiah to go into combat here.
Yeah, he just he wants to play all the game. He wants to play the whole game, right?
Maybe Isaiah doesn't realize what life total Mario's at.
Well, you know, again, I mean, I have to give Isaiah credit in respecting the fact that Mario can interact at instant speed here.
Yeah, I understand that. I just...
Of course, that said, at a healthy 23 life, I wouldn't be real concerned about the swing back at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think if I'm Isaiah, I just want to close this out here.
Yeah.
And he has gone into combat. One of the Thopter tokens gets tapped, and
all of his spirits will have +3 toughness for the turn, if that's the spirit of the hunt.
Yep, but doesn't have reach.
Doesn't have reach.
Yeah.
And so...
I think if I'm Isaiah here, at Mario's end step, I spend that remaining 3 energy, make another Thopter.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Have 4 lethal attackers on board. Yeah,
that's my concern with like his line of doing all the Marvel shenanigans. It's just that maybe that energy would have been spent better on just Thopters.
Yeah, for sure. And in my limited experience playing with the Marvel deck, I do have to say that was that's one of the break points, I think, for adept navigation of games with the Marvel deck is knowing when Virtuoso is your win condition.
Yeah.
And knowing that Isaiah has been on vehicles, for as long as I've known him, it's perfectly reasonable to, that he wouldn't necessarily.
Well, I don't think it's wrong or anything. I'm just simply stating that. I just want to be getting him with Thopters. So, end step, do we get another Thopter?
We did not. So Mario is still at 3?
He's still at 3.
And not at 1. Why did he go from 3 to 3 and took 2 damage last turn?
He was at 5.
Huh. Okay.
So Mario was at 5, took 2 from 2 attacking Thopters, and now has the Nebelgast Herald to block a single Thopter. And so unless... Well, Isaiah, just hardcast your Ulamog and get that Nebelgast Herald out of here.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
See, like I said, I don't have a clue.
The beauty of I thought he was at 5, but the beauty of having the cards brought up for us.
Right.
Whenever one or more creatures deal combat damage.
And look, I don't feel bad about not knowing what that last line of text on that ongoing investigation card is.
I've never played a card because it gave me life.
Right.
I've played a card because it drew me cards.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking. Ongoing investigation was an early pick in draft for the right deck. But beyond that, you just tabled that thing all night long, right? So.
Nope. So we spun the Marvel again.
Yeah, why not?
Because we got an Ulamog in our hand.
I mean, we just we got to get in while the getting's good with the Marvel, Let's
you know what? I'm mistaken. I didn't even realize it. That's what Isaiah's doing. He's just letting us know, hey,
yeah,
I can do this, and this is why it's bad.
Extracting all the value, right? Not unlike local player Billy Caminos, in his famous or infamous best of the SCG Tour clip, where he absolutely savages Logan Mize with Amulet Bloom by casting no less than 4 Primeval Titans on turn 2.
Yeah.
And now, I know Billy. I've known Billy for a while. We are friends. And, I asked him about that. Well, first I thanked him, right, for finally showing everyone how stupid that deck was on camera. Right?
He did a green-black play. Great service.
And, right, exactly.
Yeah.
But then I asked him, why? Why did you do that? And he said, because I could.
Because I could.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much what Isaiah is doing here as well, I think. He wants to just spin it and spin it and spin it.
That's the kind of guy Isaiah is. He wants to have fun, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just spin that wheel.
But that said, I mean...
That being said, you've taken 24 minutes.
Yeah, he might be letting Mario back in the game here.
Yeah. These wolf spirits are building on him.
Yeah, I mean, there for a while, Isaiah's board was far wider than Mario's, and Mario has at least reached parity, if not is
so 4,
starting
6,
to pull ahead.
12. So Mario does have lethal on board. How he gets that through necessarily isn't is the trick.
Yeah,
so he does have lethal, like...
Isaiah's got another Thopter in the reserve tank there if he wants
it.
it.
Yeah. No, Isaiah has blockers and everything, but he does have 19 power on the board. And so... Not saying he's running a falter effect or something like that, but... Something to be aware of.
Yeah, what Mario needs here is a Flash Flood.
The old Flash Flood.
Yep.
Another flying blocker. Yeah.
Is that a Lambholt Pacifist up there at the top getting in?
Yeah, it's got the counter on it. Once it has 4 power, it can get in.
Once again, the name is a lie. The most violent pacifist I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that's the thing about pacifists, though. They're not pro-war, but when you got to fight, sometimes you got to fight. Your back's against the wall.
I feel like that goes against the very definition of the word pacifism.
I don't think in the definition of pacifism you just keel over and let them kill you.
All right, well... I'm not going to get... So my favorite website in the world is dictionary.com. I'm kind of a word nerd. Yeah. So I would love to just hop on there right now and prove you wrong.
That's fine.
Or myself wrong.
Words and definitions are very different than practice. And I would not expect a pacifist who could be opposed to war as a thing, and war and conflict. But I would not expect them to turn belly up and let them get gouged or ulamogged. I don't think she really has much to say in getting ulamogged, but
right.
Just give it to him.
Yeah, I mean,
give him the dirty, Isaiah.
Right. At this point, we've got 2 gigantic 10-10s in our hand. The game is slipping away from us slowly.
Just start hard casting them. Okay,
yeah,
this has to be the 11th land. We're not playing around censor anymore.
Let's just drop the hammer.
Don't even count it. Just tap it all. Just turn it all sideways and just get him. And if he wants to censor you, say you got it floating. Just you're doing yourself a disservice, Isaiah, by counting this mana.
I mean, in some ways, you're correct. Look at the clock.
This is why I hate playing ramp decks. It's because I hate counting mana.
You know what I hate? Having to deal with the fact that after every game, your lands are clumped. Like, you got to shuffle. You got to shuffle. I'm a big proponent of shuffling and as much as humanly possible.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if you just toss them back in there after the game, yep, they're going to be clumped.
I just say get those 2 flyers out of here. Well, Isaiah says differently.
Hey, man, they're his Ulamogs.
You know, maybe at this point, maybe the flyer isn't really all that where the battle's being fought.
They're his Ulamogs. He can do what he wants.
Let's spin the wheel again, grab a second Ulamog, and exile 2 more things. Just grab the second Ulamog. Ulamog him twice in 1 turn. Yes, here we go.
Yeah, it's not exiled.
Okay, so if anyone in chat thinks that maybe this deck shouldn't be banned, Isaiah has spun his wheels long enough to let you know this is what we do around here. Just take my pick of your board. Get them out. Pop a clue. Grow the trackers. Grow your trackers. And draw this card. And let's go to combat.
Some very informed trackers coming in. they've been well informed. They've investigated a lot of clues, followed a lot of leads. They know where Mario's house is.
They know where Mario's house is.
They're coming.
They have found the wolf.
Yeah.
The Chandra in Isaiah's top 6 was Torch of Defiance, the 4-mana Chandra, not the Flame Caller.
Mario calling for help.
Mario.
Yes, 911. This is Mario. There's a giant Eldrazi Titan outside my house.
We are digging for an answer, and let's just pick him up.
And 2 very angry detectives.
Yeah, and so Isaiah's saying right now is like, I could have cast all these Ulamogs in my hand, but I definitely didn't want to get censored and look like a silly.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's legit. I mean, lesson number 1 that was imparted to me when I borrowed the Marvel deck from, once again, Billy Caminos, was don't get your Ulamogs censored.
Make somebody's day. You know, make your opponent's day. Let your Ulamog get censored.
Yeah, and I still got them censored a couple times, but that was, to be fair, in situations where it was either resolve an Ulamog or lose the game. So I just ran it out there, and they had the censor, and it was what it was.
It's still 10 mana, 2 Vindicates.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Not exactly a deal, though. Certainly not the bargain that something like Collected Company is. But I digress.
Well, if you censor a Collected Company, they don't get anything.
Yeah, but it also only costs 4 mana. It's instant speed.
Wow, you're picky. You are so greedy.
Gives you 6 mana of value.
So
I hate that card.
Oh yeah, don't tell me. Don't have to just tell me twice how much awful Collected Company is.
Well, both of us being green-black connoisseurs in Modern. Yeah, Collected Company is just egregious.
So Mario is probably looking to board in a few sideboard cards. A few sideboard cards in terms of counter spells. Nothing decisive against the Marvel. Basically wants to keep it off the board, and if it gets on the board, I think you're just kind of stuck with it.
I would definitely be looking for some Dissenter's Deliverances here. If I'm Mario.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Okay, I can see that. It being able to cycle and whatnot.
Sure.
I just, how do I say? Artifact removal always felt really bad against the Marvel, because usually once it's in play, it's already doing the damage.
Yeah, but it's going to continue doing the damage.
Of course, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, You know, one of the facts that was cited in the banning article was the fact that the turn 4 Ulamog only happens in roughly 10% of games. Meaning, it's not super common to hit the Ulamog on that first activation.
True, true.
So having a way to deal with the Marvel before it can be activated again and increase the probability of delivering upon your opponent a giant tentacled, be-tentacled Eldrazi Titan.
It's big game.
Yeah. I had a couple Dissenter's Deliverances in the Marvel deck that I ran. I was happy to have them.
You had a main?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. To be perfectly honest, the one card that was in the sideboard that was called out as a candidate for coming in the mirror match, Manglehorn, I was thoroughly underwhelmed by that card.
Yeah, so that's been the kind of standard assessment of Manglehorn. It had a lot of hope. There was a lot of hope kind of riding on it when it was first printed, and it has only disappointed folks.
Isaiah on a mold of 6 here, scries to the bottom. Mario leads off.
Yeah, and I think the problem... Okay, there... Isaiah didn't have blue or red mana, but he drew... Okay, he had a Botanical Sanctum. My mistake. Isaiah's hand seems a little land-heavy, so he might just kind of get ran over if Mario can present an aggressive front.
Yeah, I mean, Mario definitely wants to be on the play in as many games as possible against this deck.
Oh, of course, yeah. And with flipping that Duskwatch Recruiter, he's going to be able to flood the board quite a bit if he has the creatures in hand.
And we're still, we're seeing the synergy of the Wolves and Spirits package here.
That is an ode substantiate. Put that creature back in your hand.
Yeah, no sir. No sir, not this turn.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Remand's too good. But that card, whatevs.
Well, definitely traded up on tempo there.
Yeah, definitely.
Spent 2 mana to cost Isaiah 3. So, that's exactly what this deck is trying to do.
Totally, totally.
Yeah, mentioning the Void Winter in the mirror, in the Marvel mirror. Yes, I agree. That is indeed a great card for the Marvel mirror match. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about that crap anymore.
Yay! No more Marvel metagaming. Ooh. So at end of turn, Mario snuck out a Spirit of the Hunt, and then untaps to jam a 4-mana Verder's Gearhulk off of that Duskwatch Recruiter flip.
Isaiah is pretty much living on a prayer here. All right, so sitting on 5 mana. Looks like he has a Marvel, a Glimmer, and no hope of survival. So we're going to go to game 3.
So game 3.
And we really got to see why Mario believes in this deck and why he is bringing it to tournaments.
Yeah,
That was a very impressive, aggressive start from Mario. Just put the Marvel player in a position where he had pretty much no outs whatsoever.
Definitely. Yeah, there were really outs to that. He was pretty aggressive. It lined up really well, honestly. That Duskwatch Recruiter flipping on turn 2, or flipping on turn 3. Yeah.
Yeah, Mario was like, nice 3-mana 3/2. Go ahead and get your energy and draw your card. That's fine. Take 20 billion.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty depending on how he has a sideboard build, I think it's a deck that could, similar to kind of in the way Spell Queller, probably it's in the way Spell Queller is good against Marvel. I feel like Mario's deck is doing similar things in terms of disrupting while also being able to attack.
Similar, sure, but certainly not identical. I mean,
not identical.
Spellqueller.
Spellqueller's real good against Marvel.
Showed its power at the GP over in Japan, I believe.
Yeah.
For sure, and is starting to gain more traction in Modern as well. There's that new Jeskai burn list.
Okay, yeah, Harlan was on, or I don't know who was on this list. Spellquellers.
I can't
okay,
remember right now, but it was definitely a thing.
Okay, sure.
And it's a bunch of 4-ofs. It's like 4 snap, 4 queller, 4 bolt, helix, path. Get you. Yep. So unsubstantiates the turn 3 play again, gaining a huge amount of tempo. Basically has broken serve in a sense. Obviously, Isaiah's still ahead on land drops.
Yeah, of course. Being just on the play, but...
And Mario definitely needs a way to capitalize on the tempo he bought with that play, and he does have one.
So, Spirit of the Hunt, offering up the trade with Isaiah. Could possibly get blown out by a second Spirit of the Hunt. Come on, have the... Oh, I wish he had the second Spirit of the Hunt.
You know, perfectly willing to make that trade if I'm Mario.
Yeah, probably. I think it's fine. No.
You know, the sizing... Yeah, the sizing of the wolf is going to stay consistent. The tracker, however, as it continues to follow its leads.
Tireless tracker is only going to get out of hand, but Isaiah did have to be concerned that a second Spirit of the Hunt would have kind of blown out his trade.
So we got that Manglehorn in play. Took out the clue. Isaiah follows up with no land drop, but a marvel. With 0 energy in the pool. And, you know, that was one of the things that I had to kind of figure out on the fly. Playing the Marvel deck myself was that post-sideboard games, generally speaking, you are taking out cards that generate energy.
Yeah.
And so you can certainly find yourself in situations where you have the Marvel on turn 4, and you're not anywhere near the energy required to
definitely
to spin it.
So Isaiah does have 2 Glimmer of Genius and Harness Lightning in hand, and so once he does get the engines roaring, I think he'll be able to kind of keep going, but the trick will be to stave off Mario till that point.
Right. Well, so there's always... Isaiah has the Harness Lightning in hand. There's always the Harness Lightning for 0 play here. Or just play the Virtuoso, get the 3 energy, and spinny spin spin.
Come on. Be a horrible human being, Isaiah. Get him.
Doesn't have it.
Sweltering Sun doesn't seem bad.
He kills his own Whirler Virtuoso.
Yeah.
If I'm Isaiah, I think I like that other Virtuoso that I think we saw in that split.
True.
Getting another 3 energy and still having the Harness Lightning in hand to play, to make the play. And but he chose to sweep the board. And
I honestly think I think the Chandra also would have been a good play.
Oh, I did not see it.
Yeah, I think there was a Torch of Defiance in there.
I thought it was another Harness Lightning.
Oh. Yeah. Maybe
just see a red card. I thought it was another Harness Lightning.
Yeah, maybe just if it was a Harness Lightning, that's probably also a reasonable play more than the Sweltering Suns.
I don't disagree.
Sweltering Sun, reasonable, not ideal. But now Isaiah has the Glimmers in hand, and hopefully he can just start chaining through those.
5 mana, importantly able to play around Censor.
When does the ban go into effect?
June 19th.
June 19th.
June 19th is the effective date in Paper Magic. It's effective tomorrow on Magic Online.
Okay. The enchantment is...
Perhaps it was today. because the announcement was made yesterday, right?
Yeah. So
it's actually
the ban is not going to affect this weekend's GP.
Is there a standard GP in Vegas?
There isn't, but it wouldn't have anyways. There we go.
Right. Yeah, I felt like the Vegas GPs are modern and legacy.
Yeah, but I don't think this ban... Okay, I don't know. I'm over it. Marvel's gone. I don't need to worry about figuring it out when.
Yep. Ding dong, the witch is dead. So Mario with just a mess of cards in hand. But really no board presence to speak of.
Yeah.
Isaiah representing negate. Looks like Mario's hand is just full of cards that cost more than 4 mana, perhaps?
Yeah. Discarding the Spirit of the Hunt. I see 2 Gearhawks, a Skyship, and just nothing that really interacts with this board in a favorable way.
And there's Mama.
That's actually Chandra, not her mother.
Well, in terms of the effect that she has on the game, generally speaking, she comes along and tells the kids to settle down.
She has...
And wait till your father gets home, who, of course, is Ulamog.
Oh, man.
Right.
Ulamog usually just brings the belt, you know?
Right. Yeah. You're getting at least 2 good whacks from Ulamog.
Or if you're Isaiah, you just cast him 2 in one turn.
Yeah, why not?
Get the old 4 lashings in.
Because you can.
Because you can.
Yeah.
And he did it because he can.
Hey, man, they're his cards. He can play with them however he wants to.
And he's playing pretty well right now. He's pretty ahead on board. He's got a solid board. And looking just for that last bit of energy, just to spin the wheel again one last time. As long as Chandra ain't dead, she's still going to be cranking out 3-1s.
Indeed. And, you know, at this point, Isaiah probably okay if she died because he'd get the 6 energy that he needs off Marvel to activate it.
Just a casual, like, end of turn, spin the wheel.
Yeah, why not?
So maybe we should be chump blocking there. But we have his Glimmer, so it's fine.
He got in with the Rogue Refiner last turn, if I'm not
mistaken.
mistaken.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Main phases. Goes up to 7 energy. Going to get his Scry 2. Amusingly cannot use it to set up the top of his library for a Marvel activation. Draws 2.
What is this?
That's a
expertise?
Brawl's expertise.
I don't know why you'd play that card. That seems silly.
Spend 5 mana, bounce a couple things, cast this Aetherworks Marvel.
Yeah. Oh, does it actually? It puts in. Okay.
Yeah, because it's a 4.
I thought the card was fine, but I didn't realize that it puts in a 4 mana spell into play.
Mm-hmm.
Seems great.
Yeah, all the expertises are 1 mana less than their casting cost.
And another Whirler Virtuoso, adding to the energy, but Isaiah ticked Chandra up and got into the red zone with her and the Rogue Refiner, so dealing 9 damage last turn.
So the Wolves need a bit of team spirit here to get back in this one.
They're going to need a lot more than just some team spirit. They're going to need a hope and a prayer, honestly. Yeah, that disallow looked pretty good, you know, stifle your activation, but too bad
still way behind on board though.
Yeah, the Marvel deck just having that plan B of playing good creatures and reasonable planeswalkers. Man.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, at this point disallow is looking, you know, a little bit too clever for your own good.
Yeah. Well,
you need, in order for that to matter, you need to be ahead on board.
Yeah. Mario's...
Or at least at parity.
Yeah, I think this game Mario's draw was a little bit weakened by just not having the turn 2 creature to even put the pressure on Isaiah. And so much of his turn was just kind of spent awkwardly interacting with Isaiah and not having solid answers.
Yeah, and I think you got to wonder what kind of hand Mario kept.
What was in that hand? There we go. Yeah.
Looks like potentially a lot of reactive cards and a lot of 5-drops.
A lot of reactive cards, and I'm not sure that Skyship Sovereign is really where you want to even be at in this matchup. He had a Skyship in his
draw. Yeah, it's pretty slow.
Yeah, it's slow, and I don't think it interacts well.
I mean, there are definitely iterations of games where the trigger on Sky Sovereign is relevant.
Okay. And he's a lot of 3/3s. He's a lot of 3/2s.
Right.
So he's going to be able to crew the Skyship, and so.
I think though what we saw here was a case of misidentification of role.
Definitely.
Mario is the beatdown, both on the play and the draw, and needs to approach the matchup in that manner. Doesn't appear that was how he chose to approach it, and I think the result is a consequence of that.
I think I would have liked to see some negates, perhaps, just as a more efficient counterspell.
Sure.
But alas.
Indeed. So that's the end of round 2. Round 1, sorry.
End of round 1, and a good reason why Marvel's out the door. So.
For sure.
Come back in just a few minutes, and we'll get round 2 going.
We'll see you guys in a bit.